Jammu Kashmir is a different state acceded to the Indian Union. Most of the people, that is majority of the population in Jammu and Kashmir, belongs to Muslims, and it is ruled by Maharaja Hari Singh, who was a Hindu. There one movement started by Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah after releasing from house arrest. Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah started a movement that is called All Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference, in which Hindus, Sikh also turned to the members. Later, this All Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference turned to National Conference. It turned to what? National Conference. And this National Conference had many similarities with the Congress in terms of religion and socialism. National Congress, that is Indian National Congress, have given importance to socialism and religious tolerance. So these two principles also we find in a national conference. So there are many similarities between national conference and Congress. So by the end of 1947, there one external invasion, that means attack outside the India, started on India from the western side where Pakistan is there. So Pakistan have given support to Rajakars. Rajakars were the personal army of a Nizam. So here Rajakars have taken the support of Pakistan and started waging war on Jammu Kashmir. Rajakars looted the people of Jammu Kashmir, which is an independent state, before merging it into the Indian Union. So Rajakars have reached up to the Srinagar. Then Maharaja Hari Singh, who was the ruler of Jammu Kashmir, wanted the support of Indian government. So he requested our Indian government to extend the support of Indian forces for protecting the Jammu Kashmir from invasion of Rajakars. Indian government, how it will interfere in the Jammu Kashmir matters, which is not a part of India at the time. Britishers have given independence to India, Pakistan, and to the princely states. Princely states were given freedom. Either they could join Pakistan or India, or they can stand independent. So Maharaja Hari Singh wanted to keep Jammu Kashmir as an independent state. So he was independent, but he did not stand because there Pakistan given support to Rajakars to create trouble to the rule of Maharaja Hari Singh, and they wanted to occupy Jammu Kashmir. Maharaja Hari Singh was not interested that merging is a kingdom either in the Pakistan or in a Indian Union. So he led independent. He stand independent. So here, what you call, we see that there Maharaja Hari Singh turned to facing the trouble. There was a danger from the attack of Rajakars. At one moment, there would be loss of Jammu Kashmir into the hands of Rajakars. So at that time, Maharaja Hari Singh requested the Indian forces to extend help. So Indian government, the Governor General of India announced that Indian forces will be available for Jammu Kashmir after merging Jammu Kashmir into the India. That is adding Jammu Kashmir to Indian Union. So immediately there one agreement took place between Maharaja Hari Singh and Indian Union government. At the same time, this Maharaja Hari Singh, the ruler of Jammu Kashmir, demanded various options, facilities available to the Jammu Kashmir in future being a part of the Indian Union. So on the agreement, several facilities were accepted by the Indian government that Jammu Kashmir would be given a special status by creating Article 370. So we have seen Article 370 have given some special status to the Jammu Kashmir. That is the reason I have said that the accession, that is the merge of Jammu Kashmir, is different comparing with the remaining states. So the rights of the Jammu Kashmir were different compared to the other states. So in 1948, Pakistan tried to create trouble in Jammu Kashmir. So Indian government have taken this issue to the United Nations. At that time, Nehru was the prime minister, and we failed to convince. That means to present the issue of Jammu Kashmir properly in front of the United Nations. Ultimately, the issue of Jammu Kashmir turned to the issue between India and Pakistan. And here, around this time, Sheikh Abdullah have entered into an agreement at Delhi, and that was called Delhi Agreement. Okay, in Delhi Agreement, it is stated that Kashmirs, that means Jammu Kashmirs, they would be treated full citizens of India, and they have greater autonomy and powers to the Jammu Kashmir when compared to other states of India. That means some special powers they would enjoy as per the Delhi Agreement uh, with Sheikh Abdullah. So here, most of the facilities and the powers as per the Delhi Agreement are given to Jammu Kashmir under Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. Later, several governments tried to make Jammu Kashmir also a common state with the rest of the states of India. And at this time, in Jammu Kashmir also, one more issue started, that is economic divide. That means the economic divide in the state of Jammu Kashmir also acquired a religious divide. Land reforms carried out in pre India, that land reforms also carried in the Jammu Kashmir, and many of the landlords who had lost their lands in Jammu Kashmir were Hindus. Their Land Sealing Act enacted in Jammu Kashmir along with the rest of the states. So here we see that many of the Hindu landlords have lost their lands, and those lands acquired by the Indian government with the end of Land Lords Act under land reforms, such a land redistributed there. While redistributing the land, many of the Muslims have benefited with the distribution of land that collected from the Hindu landlords. So here, with the implementation of land reforms, there many of the Muslims have benefited getting the land, and Hindus who were the landlords, they have lost their lands. So the economic divide due to the land reforms acquired that religious stones. It means the Muslim population have benefited with the land reforms, whereas the Hindus have lost it. So from 1950 to 1990, our union government have made several attempts to reduce the autonomy of the Jammu Kashmir and make it a common state like the rest of the states, and that created a severe reaction among the people of Kashmir, and that led to a movement of independence of the Kashmir. Kashmir have become a bone of content between Pakistan and India. It is the part of India because Maharaja Hari Singh have made an agreement with the Indian Union, right? So it is a part of India. How Pakistan would fight for it? Even Pakistan too formed from the India. When Britishers announced independence, they made partition of India, creating Indian Union and Pakistan. So Pakistan itself come from what India? Then what about the question of Jammu Kashmir, which is also part of the India? So during this period, there large number of Hindu families, they started migrating from Jammu Kashmir to different parts of India. They were not able to feel secure in Jammu Kashmir. One side, terrorists attacking there, Pakistan provoking the Indian Muslims there. Many of the terrorist organizations like Indian Hizbul Mujahideen, like these terrorist activities were going there. So there was no protection to the Hindu families. So Hindu families have started migrating from the Kashmir to different parts of the India. Later, BJP has formed the government in the recently we have seen, and this BJP government have gone for what to call removing the Article 370. Right now, Jammu Kashmir have become an ordinary state like the rest of the states. Okay, so this is the what success we see how the Jammu Kashmir problem which between India and Pakistan have got soluted, but still there is a dispute on this issue. Pakistan is trying again. Several times it was defeated in 1947 and in the what to call 1965, 1991, 1970 on the issue of Bangladesh. Several times it defeated, but it is not getting any what to call lesson from that. Still, it is trying to what to create trouble for India. Understand? And we are moving with what to call Modi's government towards giving security to the people. Yeah. So we have to wait and see how it will be completely becoming peace. Yeah, understand. So next we see that after the what to call this Shastri, there Indira Gandhi have come to power. Here, Indira Gandhi, when she came into the politics, there were challenges to Indira Gandhi. One is from within her party. Many of the Congress party members were not happy with the rule of the Congress. Some members of the Congress party turned to defectors. So there is a major challenge to the Indira Gandhi from her own party, and also what to call the least result she got in 1967 elections. She have taken this challenge by taking the left turn. That means she tried to create a new social base for strengthening herself and also party. That is, she started identifying the poor and downtrodden people, poor people and poorest of the poor who are not treated equally and who have not given due respect are called downtrodden. So Indira Gandhi wanted to take the support from the poor people and downtrodden. Already the old promises which were given by Congress party have not fulfilled. Old promises are left like that. They are not fulfilled. And along with the old promises, Indira Gandhi started giving new promises. Okay. So there, the old promises of socio-economic development have not fulfilled till that time, and that was a major reason for the defeat of Congress party in 1967 elections in many states. This was the reason that old promises have not fulfilled by Congress party. What are old promises? The old promises are giving equality and bringing socio-economic changes have not achieved. So Congress have come to power with least majority in 1967 with 284 seats that we have seen. In many states, Congress was defeated. Several regional parties have come to power. So old promises are left like that to be fulfilled in front of the Indira Gandhi. That is a challenge. Second one is that she started promising what to call a new what to call things, that she promised that she will remove the water poverty. So Indira Gandhi started giving new promises to the people along with the old promises. So there was one decade, that is 10 years, that have gone in fulfilling the needs and expectations of the mass, that is what you call people. People who looked about Congress from 30 years, they had gone for waiting for another 10 years. So in the within the 10 years, there was nothing changed. People have gone under frustration. They were unhappy that the Congress government have failed, right? So less than a decade later, the lack of fulfillment of the expectations of the people, people filled with frustration and discontentment, that is unhappy, that led for imposing a state of emergency in India. During Indira Gandhi's rule in India, Indira Gandhi have gone for imposing state of emergency in India. What is meant by state of emergency? It is a abnormal situation where the fundamental rights of the people are suspended. Every part of India will be ruled by the what to call the president with the advice of a prime minister. So under state of emergency, there would not be normal rights to the people. We will discuss this state of emergency later. So during Indira Gandhi's rule, one more war occurred from Pakistan. It is from 1970s. Pakistan was created after the British rule with the two parts. One part of Pakistan comprised of a northwestern region of India, where Balochistan, hmm, then northwest frontiers, Sindh, Punjab, these were there. And another part of the Pakistan was Bangladesh. Today, what is there? Now it is Bangladesh. That was eastern part of the Pakistan, which was called East Pakistan. So India consisted of a Pakistan two side, east side, which is today what we call Bangladesh, and another is the present Pakistan, which is at a northwestern side. So in 1970s, there a movement started by the East Pakistan people, that Bengali identity. A movement started for identifying the Bengali. So here a protest against what was seen that a stepmotherly treatment. The funds raised from the East Pakistan expensed on the development of the Western Pakistan. Okay, so here East Pakistan working, the people of East Pakistan felt that funds are raised, collected from income. That means revenue coming from the East Pakistan, today what we call Bangladesh, and that was expensed on western part, what to call Western Pakistan. Okay, so here the East Pakistan people identified it is a partial treatment, stepmotherly treatment. Stepmotherly treatment in the sense showing partiality. So there, this was pointed by Mujibur Rahman. So Mujibur Rahman was the leader to the what to call East Pakistan people. So in general elections, there a party led by Mujibur Rahman, the party led by Mujibur Rahman have got a success. Majority of the votes it got, and he was arrested by the army of West Pakistan, and a period of military repression of East Pakistan began. There, what to call West Pakistan have taken action on suppressing the movement of the East Pakistan people. So lakhs of East Pakistan people in this war migrated to India. That means there was lakhs of refugees. Refugees means people who migrate in search of shelter and protection to other countries. So lakhs of refugees started streaming to India, means moving to India to find a place for settling there. So here a liberation movement also started by Mujibur Rahman in what to call East Pakistan, to create a new country for East Pakistan people that would be called Bangladesh, and that led to a war between Pakistan and India. So Bangladesh and India was asked to assist it. So in 1971, we see a war broke out. In 1971, a war broke out between India Pakistan, In this war, Pakistan was defeated in the hands of India, and with the help of India, East Pakistan have turned to a new country, that is Bangladesh. So in 1971, a war between India and Pakistan have liberated East Pakistan and helped them to establish an independent country. What we call today is Bangladesh. So at that time, Indira Gandhi was the prime minister. So she was treated like a goddess Durga Devi. People worshipped her like a Mahashakti, like a goddess Durga Devi, who succeeded in suppressing the what, defeating the what, Pakistan. So India was succeeded in this issue because there the two power blocks, that is America and USSR, also trying to intervene into the issue of Bangladesh. How they interfered into the Libyan issue and Nigeria. There, here too they want to interfere, but our Indian government, what to call, cleverly manipulated, making the two superpower blocks as a neutral one, and not allowed these two power blocks to enter into the Asian matter, especially what to call the neighboring country of India, that is Bangladesh. Understand? So Indian government skillfully managed the non-alignment policy between what you call two superpower blocks, and stopped the superpower blocks intervening in the war between India and Pakistan. So here our India succeeded giving independence to the helped what to call getting independence to the Bangladesh people from the hands of Pakistan. So India have earned a good name here with Bangladesh. Today we have good relations with Bangladesh instead. So this is regarding what to call creation of the Bangladesh in the 1971. Okay, then Indira Gandhi, what to call, she have chosen a new path for strengthening the Congress party and herself, because there the Congress party have failed fulfilling many of the demands. So Indira Gandhi have chosen a new path for what to call, for so Indira Gandhi have chosen a new path for strengthening the Congress party and herself, and she introduced new policies and programs, and that policy introduced by Indira Gandhi have helped to gain control over the Congress party. See, up to 1971, elections were conducted to the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies at a time. That means simultaneously. Today we see that in different parts of the India, elections are not at a time to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. So once what to call once upon a time, before to 1971, elections to Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies were conducted at a time, what we call Jamli elections. Now Modi is trying to bring the Jamli elections again to reduce the what corruption and to reduce the election expenditure. So this is one issue today, whether to conduct Jamli elections or not. So what will be the results? So planning to conduct Jamli elections, what we call elections conducting for Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies at a time. So this was continued up to 1971. In 1971, Indira Gandhi have broken this pattern. Actually, elections should come in the year 1972. Indira Gandhi have gone for calling elections well in advance 1 year, that is in 1971. So instead of conducting elections in 1972, elections were conducted in 1971. So with this attempt of Indira Gandhi, till today we are what you call getting elections to Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies at different times. So Indira Gandhi have gone for breaking this what to call a pattern.